What is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite Wednesday night wrestling live podcast with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Josh DeBoard, and with your reigning, not defending yet, but not yet. RSH heavyweight champion of the world. Where's the belt?
I know.
I'm sharing.
It's clean and sterilized.
I got Facebook banned, and now I have to individually share to each group instead of my normal group share because Jeffrey Dahmer memes are frowned upon right now.
That happens.
It was a sandwich. He's eating a fucking sandwich. And it said, this doesn't taste like Five Guys. I thought it was funny.
I mean, did it taste like Burger King? That's what you should rebuttal with. Like, that's what he thought, you know.
I get the joke.
We're not sugarcoating here. Nope.
I was going to be Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween, but that definitely is frowned upon.
I think you should. Now, for those of you with the benefit of live video, you see one extra face on this show, the head of the SJP World Media, a former guest of regularly scheduled Hostilities, and a man of many, many podcasts. I can't even name them all. Here he is, Si Powell. What's going on, brother?
Hey, good evening. How are we all doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I know it's late over there, 5 hours ahead of the U.S., so appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, it's just gone 11:30 at night, so fast approaching midnight. But I got my mug of tea. I've had a little bit of a power nap. I'll be all right.
I like it. I like it. So you drink tea over here. I drink coffee. So I don't,
right.
Whatever keeps you going. So we had a big week. It is following the WWE's Extreme Rules, which is pretty good. And also the return of a very, very popular character, Bray Wyatt. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched it yet. But yeah, good stuff. So before we get rolling here, I do want to congratulate Yvonne for being the new RSH champion. And I do want to throw a shout out to Josh DeBoard for holding the title for 953 days. That's quite a lot of predictions to predict. So good job with that reign. And we couldn't even tie that. It would take us another 3 years just to tie that. So
yeah, we did, yeah.
I don't have that.
I didn't think, to be honest, I listened to the show. I didn't think it was ever going to change. I thought.
Right, exactly.
And so, hold on,
It did.
Like this, my body physically hurts deleting this.
Oh, that's sad. It make your
no and counting. Who the fuck's laughing?
Is that your Jeffrey Dahmer
Who's
joke?
Ben Mackett. Stop laughing. It ain't funny.
Ben Mackett?
I think we're getting size fans.
That makes sense.
Ben, yeah.
Ben Mackett, yeah.
That's Benny from In the Corner and the waiting room.
I guess first name, pretty good name to have.
He is laughing at me losing my That was weird for a while. It doesn't go away.
This is how it's your new car smell.
I'll copy you and do this.
All right, you can put it
there. It is.
Shit to talk about.
I'm pulling the Josh move.
I like it. It's like a change of fucking hands here.
This is weird. All right, let's get fucking title. Let's get the title now has no
right. Yeah, it does. It's in the middle.
It's like selling something. Never mind. I'm gonna be nice. Anyway.
Be nice. Okay.
Man, this sucks. All right.
Tell me about it.
What are we talking about?
Extreme Rules. Bray Wyatt, whatever you want to talk about.
I'm over it.
He said Josh.
It was below average pay-per-view.
To be fair.
Bray's back. Like, it's not up to CM Punk's level, so I don't know.
I mean, you can believe what you want to believe.
No, but,
believe.
All right, Extreme Rules. I have it set up.
I think Si might have up. There he is.
Oh, shit. I deleted all the matches. No, I have pictures. Fuck it. For you guys, audio only, you're kind of fucked for now.
But we'll talk about it.
You get a miss on my cool picture. Laughing at the Jeffrey Dahmer comment. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, like, fuck Facebook. Facebook, fuck you. Like,
Facebook
ban me some more. No, like, it banned me for 20 and it banned me for 30 days for sharing live video, which fucking kicks me in the balls for this.
What? Why live video?
Like, I don't know why they went after live video.
That is weird.
Over a meme that I stole off somebody else's wall.
I've seen all over Facebook.
Yeah, like the Five Guys memes fucking, I just want to take some pictures. Like, God damn it. Anyway.
Fucking Facebook. Fucking meta.
I think stupid. All right, we have to do the normal intro. We're on YouTube. We have 6 subscribers, so fuck y'all. We're gaining. Chuck still know who the fuck Bill Eilish is.
He still don't.
And
I know the name now.
Apparently he's got a sticker and I don't. So that she takes my belt, then don't even give me a Bill Eilish sticker. It's pretty fucked up.
I have it somewhere.
I still can't name a song from hers though.
All right, I'm just going to delete this banner about my title reign.
I got you a
welcome side of the show. I made a banner for it, so I'm going to show it.
Thank you.
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
And then
here
you
now,
can
guys?
see all this.
All that.
There, all the size stuff.
SJP World Media. You can find us and a bunch of other great podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter and watch me retweet a bunch of shit that pisses off AEW people. Or at SJP World Media. That's where Si's at. And WrestleBuddy at WrestleBuddy on Twitter. And just search WrestleBuddy on Facebook. You can read articles mostly by Tyler because he writes 80 a day.
Yeah, I'm saying
He's a machine.
He's a robot. We got a very special listener right
Absolutely.
now, Sharon Powell. Hi, back at you.
Hi, Sharon.
That'll be my good lady. Hello, Shah.
Probably like, you motherfuckers keeping him up this late.
Exactly.
I know, right?
Let me look at these American scum.
It's bedtime, really.
Now they're talking. They kept him up all night to talk
For
about
this?
Jeffrey Dahmer. Like,
Those light beer morons.
and the one's not even drunk. What the fuck's going on? My mom's gonna be like, Ben sober?
I know. It's just
We're
surprised
not
all of
used
us.
to that.
That's
Like,
why
John
I'm
sober.
That's why I'm wrong with everything. That's why I don't have to fucking work anything anymore.
Ben's mad. He's not special. You're special. All right, Extreme Rules.
He's told to-
So I got these. Overall, what do you guys think?
Sure. Let's start with Si. What do you think, brother?
It's the first WWE event I've watched since Clash at the Castle. I don't watch the weekly television.
Sure.
The buzz going in was quite positive from what I see online. Everyone seemed quite happy to have Triple H in charge, Vince being gone, and so on. Again, WWE is not my company. I don't watch a lot of modern day wrestling, but I was kind of hooked in by the Bray Wyatt stuff and all the intrigue about what's going to happen on the night and so on. And I'll be honest, I quite enjoyed it. There was enough there for me to come away from the show feeling quite positive. And then I sort of see clips online about a couple of the things that happened on Raw. I'm quite intrigued now to go and check Raw out as well, because I've not seen that in a very long time. So in a way, for somebody who's not watched WWE for a long time, that pay-per-view probably did its job because it's half hooked me back in.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
I'm going to show you a picture, and I feel like this match had a big role in drawing you back in. Am I
Oh,
right?
yes.
That's a good match.
I think especially over in the emergence of Imperium on the main roster has to make it more interesting in UK because of how over Walter and them were when they were in NXT UK with like Imperium's great run, and now they're on the main roster and they're having another great run.
Yeah,
like
they
they
were.
lost, they looked amazing.
They looked good. Yep.
And Walter didn't take the pin, which he shouldn't ever take a fucking pin,
No, he should.
or at least not for a while. But
Yeah, I mean, you've also got the fact that Pete Dunne and I refuse to call him Butch. I can't do it. You got Pete Dunne and Walter, who
my guy.
Yep.
they all worked the UK independent scene for a very, very long time. Companies like Progress and all that sort of stuff. So they're established here even before NXT UK. There were names to certain people who followed UK wrestling anyway. Sheamus, I think, is fantastic as well. It seems whatever they throw at the guy, he makes good of it. So whether he's been, the tag team stuff with Cesaro, and then when they were feuding before that as well, IC title reigns, his world title reigns. Okay, maybe the competition around him at the time made those reigns a touch weaker than other champions, but you can only face the guy who's across the ring from you. If they're not giving you anyone to beat, what can you do? But I think anything they throw at Sheamus seems to work very well. Babyface, heel, whatever. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Sheamus as well. But that match was brutal. I mean, the fact that Sheamus is coming in marked up.
Dude,
did,
that Shillelagh shot to the fucking head.
Oh,
Ooh, God, that hurt.
And then he said, look how big that Shillelagh is. And Graves is like, I'm channeling my inner Michael Scott, but I'm not.
yeah.
I fucking pop. As an office lover, I pop.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my Betty Jimmy and I was like, that's what she said. And he's like, God damn it. And then as soon as he said, God damn it. Sorry, Mom. I said I'd stop saying God damn it so much. Did it on purpose that time, though, Mom.
You did.
But
You did.
when he said it and he said, God damn it, then Graves said, oh, I was channeling my inner Michael Scott. And I was like, it just perfectly worked out. And I was like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's it. But that was great. I mean, it was the opener, and I wanted it to be the opener so bad because I knew it set the tone. And then I was like, oh, whatever follows it's going to be garbage. And it was. So
Yeah, it was.
at least
I think that worked really well, though. I think
they got the crowd hot.
the Liv Morgan Ronda Rousey match. I didn't expect anything from that anyway.
We didn't.
So yeah,
Just wait. I have very strong thoughts.
Yeah,
and in my
so do
fucking
I.
title reign was that horse shit. It's not the fact I lost. It's the way I lost.
The match it
Like,
was.
It's like
The match
being a
was.
football fan, like
It was
NFL here.
bad.
It's
It
like
was
I
sad.
would rather lose a game 75. Like I'd rather her beat me 6-0 than like
Rob
5.
and live. That
you know
was
what I
it
mean?
came
Like,
down to.
Yeah, it always
I'd
does.
rather lose a football game 90-3 than lose 27-24 watching the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers' dumbass win in overtime. But like, I'd rather get destroyed than lose. It hurts. But
So that match.
what was your favorite match of the night?
The opener has got to be up there. I think it was just like you said, it set the tone for the show. It was absolutely perfect, and again, I think the structure of the show worked well because the Liv Morgan Ronda Rousey match that I didn't expect much from followed. And you tend to look at pay-per-views, especially WWE pay-per-views, they open strong, and then the second match tends to be one of the weaker ones on the card. So I think that worked quite well. But the opener was great. I enjoyed Riddle versus Rollins, but then I'm quite a big Seth Rollins fan, and I thought it was quite unique, the setting that it was in.
Did you see the fight pit in NXT?
I did, but I think I've seen it like once. And when they were talking about the fight pit in the build-up,
yeah, they did a good job building. Like on weekly TV, they showed that video package a couple times.
See, there you go.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where I struggled then, because I would have seen it in NXT, which would have been a good few years ago now, isn't it?
A good
and
year.
then
It was him and Thatcher. It was Thatcher and Riddle, and then Ciampa and Riddle.
I remember Ciampa being in there. But when they were talking about the fight pit, I couldn't remember it myself until I saw the video package on the pay-per-view. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay, I have seen this before. But it is a very unique setting, isn't it?
It is.
The fact that there's no ropes straight away completely changes the dynamic.
Yep, like when you hit, you're hitting steel.
Yeah, definitely.
Cormier weighs like 700 pounds, so like the ring can barely hold him. Like everybody's like, Cormier is going to fight Brock Lesnar, and I was like, no, what's that beer gut?
Nah, he did not look in good shape, did he?
Big old beer belly.
When Brock attacked Lashley on Raw, I was like, thank God I ain't got to sit through fucking Daniel Cormier trying to struggle and breathe through a Brock Lesnar match.
Right.
Unless it's one of the Brock Lesnar matches where he F5. Like, I don't know if Brock can get his ass up. Like, he's like Big Show weight. But
yeah.
All right, Chuck, what was your match of the night?
I was drinking. Let me think about it. My match of the night. I really enjoyed Rollins and Riddle. That's probably my favorite. I liked seeing, because first of all, it's my first time seeing a match like that. So just to see him on top of the platform, like beating the shit out of each other. It's like, dude, if you fall, it's going to hurt.
Tyler, quit getting over in the fucking comment section.
He's getting over more than us.
Oh, so here's Tyler. Hey, hello.
And it blows
Yo,
up.
Tyler.
What's
Hello.
up, Tyler?
Hi, Tyler. Tyler's more popular. Oh, the show's even talking shit.
I know, right? We are.
Ben's laughing like, what the fuck? So like, I went from like
Tyler.
top of the food chain, like I'm jobbing on WWE main event right now. I got to rebuild.
Let's just kick Tyler out of here.
Right.
Tyler, calm your shit down.
Yeah, that's probably my match of the night, though. I really enjoyed it. When Riddle jumped off, landed on Rollins, I thought he might have legit been hurt there
Hey,
for a
we got
second.
breaking news.
Just how he ran out of the ring real fast.
Breaking news.
Dean Ambrose's wife just signed with AEW.
We're not surprised.
Continue.
I thought she was going to fucking Angles or some shit.
No, she's over here half dressed and she's all elite.
I like when she's half dressed. That's cool.
I don't know. I'm not Canadians.
Oh, God.
Canadians really Canadian women are gross.
I'm not
And
surprised that
I don't like.
Sure, that's true.
I don't like Canadians in
Trish
general.
Stratus is from Canada, and
Trash.
she's smoking.
All Canadians are trash.
Oh, that's
All
just
of them.
incorrect.
No, all of them.
That's just
All of them.
incorrect.
If you didn't pay attention to South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, that's your problem.
Oh, for God's sake.
I've been paying attention to Trish Stratus, and she's like
Oh,
fine
my
wine.
We have
Gets
God.
older with age.
We have great tits in America. Like we're okay.
Oh, God.
I can find you a stripper that looks just like Trish Stratus, and you'd be so drunk you wouldn't
I've
even.
clubs that you down.
You don't go to the one, not around here.
I've been to some. I've been.
Did you go to New York, New York? That's where the grand.
God no.
That's where.
Hey, I'll tell you what,
A stripper would go strip.
She would.
If you can find a stripper that looks like Trish Stratus, I'll fetch my passport.
Say, sign me the fuck up,
Okay.
right?
I don't
Your
even.
wife is watching, bro.
Yes.
Oh shit!
She's got to pop in the comments.
You're no longer the head of your table. Yeah, dude. Look, Ben's talking shit.
He's getting you.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
I always
But I ain't
thought-
going to call
I
myself
never
head of
liked
the
people
table.
named Ben.
That's a great first name, in my opinion. I think it's classic.
That's kind of a douchey name.
It's not mine
but-
myself.
That's
but
Josh's catchphrase. I won't do that. I'm just the head of this table.
All right, Yvonne, what's your favorite match?
Mine was Bianca and Bailey. History was made. It was the first ever women's ladder match.
That was for the title. That was pretty neat.
And it was history made. They both killed it. Overall, I liked all the matches. Riddle and Seth and Walter.
Yep, that was
It was
good.
good.
Maybe Matt. I knew. I don't even remember. Did I vote for Emporium to win on this show?
we
Yeah,
all did.
we all
Yeah.
did.
On the other show, I did as well. Not the other show, but the other thing I do. It's like I fucking knew they were going to lose because they won at Castle.
Won.
It was their
Walter won Friday.
and he won Friday, so
Yeah.
it was their turn. So if I pay attention on Friday, I would have changed that. It's like it's clear they're gonna fucking win,
Right.
but is what it is.
Told us wrong.
Edge and Balor was my match of the night.
Edge and Balor. That was a good
I
one.
love the ending, the concerto with Beth.
That was good.
So Edge didn't have
You
to say
called that one.
like, yeah,
He did.
I told you don't want Edge to be like, oh my God, the coup de grace, I quit. Like that makes Edge look weak, even though the coup de grace is Balor's move. But like the involvement of Beth, then the concerto, and then Edge is like, oh shit, like I quit. Okay, then Rhea did it anyway.
She did it anyway.
It's fucking brilliant. I think I yelled fucking brilliant after it happened. First off, I yelled, hit her, fucking hit her. Sorry, Bud Light.
So
But I was
so
like, fucking hit her.
I don't
Oh, and White Russians.
He always says women when he's on Bud Light. It's his thing.
I don't like Beth Phoenix. No offense.
But
I mean,
what a brilliant way to end. Then
That
they all
was.
scatter, and then it's like, oh shit. Then it perfectly sets up Balor and Balor and Rhea versus Edge and Beth,
Yep.
or Rhea versus Beth, or Edge versus
I
Balor.
think that's the biggest thing about that, isn't it? It's not the end game there. We're getting more from this.
Mhm.
And,
It
and,
makes you
and
want
I'll
more.
be honest, when you asked me what my favorite match was, Balor versus Edge, for some reason, just completely escaped my mind. I totally forgot that even
it
bloody
did
happened.
mine too.
But yeah,
Well, we couldn't
that
do
was absolutely storming. And the fact that we're going to get more of this,
Yes.
I like Dominic in this heel role.
Yes.
I prefer
He's
him
getting over it.
like that than the almost like Ray's little sidekick. He almost has a character of his own now. Finn Balor's fantastic at the best of times anyway.
Sure.
You know, I think there's just so much going on with that group. And the fact that we're going to get more is good, because you look at other aspects of the show, you almost feel as though there are other storylines or other matches that are like the end of something, like Riddle and Seth Rollins. You feel that's the end of that, especially with Rollins now moving on, winning the United States Championship. You kind of feel that they moved on to different things now. So having other storylines that are still running in behind, it's a continuation of television, isn't it?
That's what we get now that we didn't used to get.
Absolutely. When do we think that Ray is going to finally break down and just fucking lay out Dominic?
He can.
I feel like that's a Saudi match.
Yeah,
I do too.
it's got to be a pay-per-view for sure.
Yeah,
He's
I
gotta
feel
snap
like
at some
soon.
point.
Soon. I think they're just slowly building.
It reminds me of like when Kane debuted and kept trying to get the Taker to fight him, but Taker's like, "I'm not going to fight you. You're my brother. I'm not going to fight you. You're my brother." Then he finally just snapped and took him out, and they had their feud. It's kind of the same idea there.
So Saudi is what, start of November, is it? So a couple of weeks away.
November
No idea.
5th.
Yeah, is that a bit soon? I mean, in my head, I don't know why. I was always assuming that we're going to get Mysterio versus Mysterio at Mania, but obviously that's quite a way off, isn't it?
On this show, we've been talking about them fighting since like May.
We have.
Like
Okay.
they teased attention forever.
We did.
Like we thought on Father's Day he was going to turn,
Other than
Like-
funny, I thought
just because but Vince is too busy banging hookers to worry about it. But
they weren't hookers. They just hooked at one time.
well, I don't know. I feel
They
like
were
it feels like a Saudi match to me.
It
Like
does.
Logan Paul and Roman's the headliners, and you have Brock and Lashley's the head mid card, or probably the opener, so Brock can get the fuck out of Saudi because he doesn't like staying around.
Yeah, we know
And
that.
Ray and Dominic, Edge and them. I feel like the Judgment Day is gonna be featured heavy. Soon. I expect Saudi that match to happen.
Okay.
Just because they
Because
still
the next one, Survivor Series, then what are you gonna do?
sure. We still have to have like Ray actually turn and like attack Dominic and actually set it
Well,
up.
think about with Styles and the OC with the OC. So Gallows and Anderson
Yep,
return
OC,
Monday
sure,
to
yep,
Raw.
they're
So
back.
team with Styles to go after Judgment Day because they've been beating the shit out of Styles for a while. If that's where they're going, then this Ray Dominic thing's going to kind of take its own thing on the side. So
Yeah.
you probably want to get that over with before and then move on, because I don't want to see this into fucking Rumble. They're still feuding. Like they'd eventually have them fight, have Dominic go over, and then kind of move. Is what I would do. Well,
So I've got no issue at all with a longer program, a longer story, as long as it's told well.
Sure.
I think you need to have. We spoke momentarily ago, didn't we, about continuation of TV and always having something to make you come back as stories end, other things beginning, and so on. I don't mind long-term storytelling if it's done well. In the same way, I don't mind a feud being won and done in a month if it's told well. What I think the problem with WWE is, and why I kind of fell out of love with the company for so long, was that everything seemed so rushed all the time. It was like, okay, we've got such and such a guy coming back from injury, or we've got this guy coming back from he's been away elsewhere, or this tag team is quite popular. Let's split them up and have them face each other. It didn't seem like they were willing to take their time with anything at all. So I've got no issues at all if Mysterio and Dominic run long, as long as it's told well. If we get to the Rumble and it's just the same shit every week, that's when I kind of lose patience with it, because okay, well, let's get to it. Let's get to the end game already.
I don't know what else he could do though. Like, he's pushed him down, he's hit him. Like, what? Like, next week does he like run him over with a car? Then the next week a truck? Like, how do you build this for? Like, it's already been teased for months, and now
That's his mum
split for a month. It's like,
and we have him in 3 different feuds now, with AJ, with Edge, and with Ray. So they're really, Judgment Day is really in 3 feuds right now.
They are.
I mean, Judgment Day will be. The report is from WrestleBuddy. It's where I saw it. That Judgment Day, all 4 of them, versus the OC with a woman competitor of their choosing, which could be a debut, could be somebody they're bringing in. That is the rumor for War Games.
That'd be good.
Judgment Day versus the OC with a female of their choosing, which could, Chuck said before we went on there, could be Beth, but we'll speculate later when this is actually announced. And then the other report is Team Bray versus the Bloodline.
That'd be good.
Now, we'll get into Bray, because we get into Bray, we'll be in.
We'll
be in that for a while.
That'll probably end the show.
Yeah, we will.
So,
we like Bray over here.
yeah,
We
Survivor
do.
Series.
Oh, me too.
That was pretty epic. But so let's go. I think I got them in order. We kind of touched on this one. There's the picture, courtesy of WWE.com. Walter getting his ass beat. I love the fucking thing he did with the what's he called, the thing where he beats up their chest?
I forget.
Where he pulls the rope over and beats it. He beat him at every level of the rope. Like, he hit him at the top, then he went to the middle, then he took him to the bottom, then he took him under the like. Sheamus is on another, like, Sheamus has refound.
I think so.
The Sheamus of, like,
he did
10 years
beating
ago.
John Cena in a tables match for the title in his first match.
He
He's hot as shit. Like, the Brawling Brutes are over as
They're
fuck.
over.
And they've WrestleNews.com said they're now listed under the babyface side of the roster.
Heels.
So now they're not heels.
That makes sense. They were fighting with New Day. Now they're fighting.
They
with real
organically
heels.
got over.
They sure did.
So there's like with Triple H, I feel like he's not going to tell you, hey, you're turning, you're this. Whatever they do to you, chew or boo you, cheer you, that's what you are. They're baby faces right now. They're super over. I've thought about this. You can't.
Too early for that.
You can't. Like, Gunther, you don't want to waste it on a one-off, because Gunther and Roman are not going to feud right now. I mean, The Rock just called out Roman last year in a fucking interview. So, like,
no, did he really?
Yeah,
he said, "I am the head
of
of
the table."
He said, "I'm not going to tell you who the head of the table is, but you're interviewing him right now."
Yeah.
So it's
there
like,
we go. That's what he said.
So
There it is.
this
Right there.
now, Ben, this is something I could see next year at like a Survivor Series. But Gunther does. You got to keep them away from each other.
I agree.
It's
with
like
that.
this Team Bray versus Bloodline thing's got me feeling a little weird.
Yeah.
But I trust Bray and Triple H more than I trust just Vince. But
So, and with Simi being involved, it could go down and make everybody look fine.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, if you book Team Bray and his Firefly characters against the Bloodline, you book the ending where Sammy or Jay are still fucking feuding with each other. One pushes the other. Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3. Then Roman's like, what the fuck? And then you just cause more tension in the Bloodline.
Sure.
And that furthers that storyline. Then Bray could go do it. Hey, we beat the fucking best faction ever. On to whatever Bray's next thing is. I feel like Bray's Cody Rhodes is going to be his first huge target.
I can believe that.
I believe it too.
But
Back when he finally comes back.
When he comes back,
Rumble. I don't think Cody's going to win it no more. But
We'll see.
We'll see.
That seems to have been on the cards for a long time, though, doesn't it? Cody winning the Rumble, going to Mania. But I couldn't ever really buy into Cody being the guy that beats Reigns.
Nope, me.
I just never quite had it in my head. So I'm thinking, what do? Do they split the belts back up again so then Cody can win his world title?
That was the report.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
They've given up, I think.
They ain't splitting it until at least after the WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Yeah,
the WrestleMania.
So that means the Rock's going to win the Rumble.
Yep.
Okay.
Or, I mean, possibly.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if the Rock's fighting Roman and he has both belts, there's only one way around it. Unless whoever
good
wins
point.
the Rumble's like, fuck it, I want to challenge it. Saudi at Survivor or Elimination Chamber, which I don't think's ever been done.
No.
But just think logically, if the winner of the Rumble faces the champion at WrestleMania and the belts will come off Reigns, he has to win the Rumble.
I mean, you're right. That logic. I mean,
Cody wins the Rumble, and it's like, oh, well, Cody, we'll give you a title shot at Money in the Bank in July. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. So
another way around it, I guess, you mentioned Elimination Chamber there. That's not even popped in my head before, but in the past, you've had, Elimination Chambers for the Universal title and the World title, so 2 separate matches. You could potentially have it that Reigns is forced to defend the belt twice. Each bout once, 2 matches. The second one he's exhausted. Still looks very strong, but just manages, doesn't quite manage to kick out before the 3 count, loses one of the titles. Could even have interference, costing the one title for the guy who's going to wrestle him for the other title at Mania, and you can work with that potentially.
I like that.
I do too.
It's going to be an interesting road.
It will.
And if The Rock wins, the fans are going to be pissed off.
It's
going to be the first big black mark on Triple H's resume with the wrestling community. That right now, everybody's very happy.
There's no way the Rock's winning that match.
Unless
they would be insane. They must be insane.
The only way The Rock don't win the Rumble, as everything's structured right now, is if The Rock can't be at WrestleMania.
Sure,
that's it. Because
I mean, if he's talking shit in interviews, he's going to be there.
I don't know how you get around it. Very disappointed in both these women's matches.
They were pretty rough. I didn't like care for him either.
Was good. Ronda's was
we'll go to Bianca. I think no, this is not in order. Hold on. Let's get all right. So this was I'm just not even going to fucking hold back. This was a steaming pile of shit from the beginning. The whole feud, the build up of this was terrible.
It was terrible.
If Triple H, if I can on one thing, this feud was horrible. I don't know if he inherited this feud and oh shit, now what do I do?
Sure.
The build was horrible.
It was already a hot mess when he came here.
Liv's hot table spot, which I think on the pre-show about 18 times, wasn't really that impressive after seeing it 186 times between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and the pre-show.
Exactly.
I could care less what Ronda does. This was the outcome. Ronda won with some kind of chokehold that made Liv smile, and then she fell asleep. I don't know if she fell asleep because her match was
You're
boring,
getting choked
or
and
she
you're
actually got
smiling.
choked out.
Really?
This was botch fest. I put in my article, which you find on WrestleMania.com, that this was a AEW's women's division match.
You did. It was
do better.
It was.
Be better. And they need to. It was horrible. Not just because this was a steaming pile of shit. I don't know what else to say. It was a botch from the Liv botched all her moves. She botched the fire extinguisher. She got it caught in the fucking.
She did.
She got it caught in the little curtain thing on the side of the ring. She couldn't even get the fire.
She's not an extreme.
She's just not. She's not. Look, all the fans wanted her in this spot. This is when you tell wrestling fans hey, they're not ready for this spot. She was not ready for the championship yet.
She
I feel with
more time.
I feel with Liv Morgan, it was almost an experiment. Because she had this, this groundswell of support, and everyone was behind her, and there was the whole underdog thing going for her, wasn't there? But the issue with any underdog story that we've seen it all over the place. We've seen it with, the Eugene character, even going back as far as that. This whole underdog thing. There comes a point when you're not the underdog anymore.
Yes,
sure.
Because you've overcome the monster, you've overcome the giant task or whatever, and then if you keep trying to act like the underdog, eventually people are going to turn on you because you're not sounding particularly confident. I mean, Randy Orton, when he won his first world championship in 2004, he spent his first couple of weeks of television running away from Triple H, even though he was the world champion. And the fans turned on him very quickly. I feel with Liv Morgan, this was an experiment. It was too soon. And I also think that you mentioned the build-up for this match was terrible, and that may be what affected the match itself. Neither of these ladies, whatever strengths they may well have, to me, neither of these ladies are particularly good talkers.
Nope.
No, they're not.
But we're seeing,
in my opinion,
no. And then WWE's going to do Ronda versus Charlotte. It's fucking just shoot me now.
Gonna go right
you've listened to the show. Me and
Charlotte, I'm aware of your opinion.
Look, we go way back to that. Me and her had a sword fight once, and she won. She's definitely packing more heat than I am. She's definitely more manly than I am. But
we know how you feel about Charlotte. We get it.
this is what we're going to get next.
No.
And we know.
This is what we're going to, and we're probably going to get Liv, Ronda, and fucking Charlotte at Saudi.
Saudi, yep.
But luckily, Charlotte has to cover up all her skin. Hopefully, she has to wear a mask on her face. But
Dude, I hope Rousey hits a fucking Saudi guard and gets fucking shot. You know, like
God damn, you took it.
I stopped myself.
That got dark.
But my question was,
I mean, because I can't say it. All right, go ahead.
how many more times are we going to see Ronda Rousey beat up male security guards? Because
Yeah, or get arrested.
it doesn't look badass anymore. You do it every week. You're not tough. It's very,
She's done it 3 times.
very
Yes.
fake tough. Just trying to get over with her fucking, bitch. Like, shut up. So I'm curious.
Well, this is why Sai doesn't watch weekly TV.
I'm curious if she's actually.
Trying to beat up Scary.
Yeah.
What happened next week? She beat up cops. Happened next week?
Yeah.
She beat up the vending machine guy.
You remember when Stone Cold got arrested? That, but with Ronda.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, fuck. So if she does that in Saudi, I wonder if they'll be like, oh, no.
Do you think maybe with Ronda Rousey, she's been a little bit overexposed?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
Two things
I-
with Ronda Rousey.
Uh-oh.
One is she thinks she's better than what she is because she was good in UFC. These are
Mhm.
two different companies, and I think she struggles with it. Like, seriously, I don't think she quite understands that this is a different thing. And like, she takes all the shit that she gets personally. Like, she reacts on Twitter. She like tries to defend herself when people make fun of her for certain things. When in reality, you're a superstar, you're a celebrity now. The more you react to it, the less you understand what's actually
Yep.
happening.
Yep.
And so she just doesn't get that aspect. So when she gets booed, she takes it really personally because she got cheered in UFC. And she doesn't get that face heel aspect of it.
Okay.
She can't deal with.
She can't handle the heat.
She
It's-
can't.
Look,
she can't handle the heat.
Let's go back to
She can't handle the
UFC.
heat.
What happened when she lost her first match or fight? She fucking ran away.
She ran
Like
off.
she disappeared forever.
Mhm.
Like she
Mhm.
fucking's a sore loser.
Mhm.
And like when people said boo, like she had a really good run her first year. Her first year was really good.
She was trying to
And
show good people.
What I think happened is she's like, I got this shit.
Yep.
I had a great. She did have one of the best 1 year
Well, she made a
runs
WrestleMania
ever. Like her matches were good though.
They
They meant
botched it,
something,
but they were there.
But she had good feuds. Like her and Alexa was good. Her and Nia, fuck, when Nia Jack feud's good, you know. But like then I feel like she's like, I got this shit, and then she just kind of cruises. It's like, oh wait, you don't have it like you thought you did.
Mhm.
Your promos are
Yep.
terrible. Your ring
Yep.
works fine, but like it was a botch fest Saturday.
It was.
I haven't seen botch fest that worse since I saw Shotzi Blackheart running around with a ladder.
Yeah.
Because she was fucking botching everything that
She
in that Money in the
was.
Bank. I felt bad for her. She's new to the main roster.
She
Probably was
was
nervous.
terrible.
It's probably the most fans she's been in
Mhm.
front of.
Yep.
But Ronda's been here before, and I expect
She
better
knows
out
the
of both of
business
them.
inside and out.
I think Liv was just too soon, and I hope she takes Sister Abigail's spot
It could help her. She needs a.
She
changer.
needs-
Bad.
the reports are it's her and Bo Dallas. They're or like engaged or dating or
Oh,
whatever.
that's-
Bo's obviously Bray's brother, so it makes sense. Bo being in it and her.
Yep, it does.
'Cause, you know, WWE likes putting all their.
Up Stan. Just kicked Stan.
But I don't know. Yvonne, what did you think
It
of that?
was
Because I
pretty-
thought it was a steaming.
It was
pile of
pretty
crap.
bad. And Liv laughing like you're
What the
getting
fuck
you're
was
getting
that?
hit with a weapon and you're smiling.
they
You're-
had no
that's
chemistry.
is like insanely gross. I mean, seriously,
I think this was the worst match of the night.
It was terrible.
It was
Oh
pretty,
yeah, hands down. Yeah, hands down. This was terrible. I
This-
think the issue with Ronda is she's. You said her work is fine, and that's what it is. It's fine. It's not exceptional. It's not dreadful. I mean, here it was terrible. Don't get me wrong, but overall,
I thought it was
Yeah.
terrible. I think she's
She-
terrible.
We all think it.
she has had some good matches. Now, I can watch Brock Lesnar return again and again and again because it
Right.
feels special. Lesnar's an attraction.
Eh,
Rousey, to me, I don't understand. She's a big name. She's regardless of what happened on Extreme Rules, she's a big name, and she could be potentially an attraction. She brings eyes to the product that maybe wouldn't normally watch because of Rosie's involvement. However, if she's on TV every week, she just becomes like everybody else. And if you become like everybody else, you need to be very, very good at this to stand out from everybody else.
Sure.
And she hasn't got the promos,
Nope.
and her in-ring work being just fine. You can get away with that in a couple of matches here and there. But if you're on TV regularly and it's just fine, you don't stand out. So all of a sudden, this big attraction you have, this big name value you have, just becomes like everybody else,
Yeah.
and it's no longer an attraction.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Look at The Rock. His
I was about to say,
Yep. His
list
ring
them.
work is just
John
okay.
Cena, fine.
Just
Stone
okay.
Cold ring work, fine. Triple H, Shawn Michaels,
Oh,
fine.
he was awesome.
fine.
Whoa. Sean was the man.
Don't be talking shit about Shawn Michaels. His interview, he's like AJ Styles. His
Shawn
promos aren't that
Michaels
great.
is like Kenny Omega on Wish.
No,
Like-
no. That's incorrect.
Like Shawn Michaels wishes he could be Kenny Omega.
Every other name you said was okay until that one. Now you're going too far. He's like AJ Styles. He's really good in the ring,
You
but his
listen
mic
to a Billie
skills
Eilish
were
song
just
and my
okay.
Shawn Michaels takes my chance. Shawn Michaels probably knows who Billie Eilish is.
Shawn Michaels sang his own theme song, so he's better singer
Shawn
than Billie
Michaels was
Eilish.
talking about cock on live TV Monday night.
He was.
That too.
He was.
That's how cool Shawn Michaels is.
Oh, dude. So they took the backstage fucking AEW, that whole drama thing. So Triple H, WWE finally took a shot back at AEW after all the shit. And Triple H, they're talking backstage, whatever. Like penis, and it's random as shit, but it was funny. I laughed. It's like, what? He's like, you have to behave yourself. Then when they walk away, he's like, no fighting. He said like that really like
That little douchey like dad voice, like mom voice.
Look, Si's probably
No
sitting here
fighting,
like, I
kids.
listen to this show every week, and he didn't even show you our sponsors. So, speaking of people that don't know how to fight, we're proudly sponsored by Tony Khan and his huge pile of cocaine that never seems to get any smaller.
Is this getting higher?
The promo of the year: AEW Dynamite, 8 o'clock, 2 weeks. Best promo ever. He got a Make-A-Wish. I don't know how him and Cesaro got WWE to do a Make-A-Wish, but they're both in AEW. And
That's what
an independent study confirmed that cocaine's the fucking best. Tony Khan,
the
calm down.
next picture.
And this is him hugging some random guy in the crowd.
From the KKK.
Hey, Si, and the funny thing is, this guy is rumored to be weighing a WWE offer and an AEW offer. How funny would it be if he shows up at NXT? That would be hilarious.
It'd be funny if he comes to NXT and he goes, Sean gives him a big hug.
Yeah.
Just like that picture.
And make sure to go out to your local KB Toys and
Or-
buy All
or-
Elite Wrestling
or Kmart.
Backstage Assault featuring CM Punk, some random guy who looks like the Miz on steroids, the Young Bucks, and Kenny. And you can buy it on PlayStation 1 for $19.99 at your local KB Toys or Kmart retail.
PlayStation 1.
Look at that artwork. Look at the people
That
on
is
Twitter.
pretty good.
The people on Twitter. And then,
They got it.
yeah, I am going to ARW soon. That's me.
Sunglasses and all.
And
You
then that's
wish.
me. I will be joining Jason Dugan October 30th. Where am I going to be? Orlando,
You
Florida.
don't know where you're going
We're
to
fighting,
be. Wow.
We're fighting Mr. I thought it said Shiho Dong. That'd have been a better name. We're fighting this
That's
guy.
not what it says. I thought I
That's
said
not
that
what
too.
it said.
Shiho Dong.
I'm not wearing my glasses.
His dong. Dugan's told me personally that his dong is smaller than Charlotte.
Oh,
so
for
we were okay.
God's
Oh,
sake.
shit.
That's too much.
All right, we got comments.
I'm sure
He
we
will
do.
end up in Impact.
I'm guessing the KKK guy.
Oh, okay.
Is it Bandido his name? I believe Bandido. Is that correct?
Bandito, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fought Shiho Dong. Yeah, that's it. That sounds right. All right, so let's get from the negative.
To the positive.
Hashtag cocaine.
I love the
All
cocaine.
right, so let's go to the other women's match.
Ugh.
Bayley and Bianca. I thought this match was fine.
It was good.
And
And
the
history was-
match was fine.
History was
The
made,
wrong
like I
fucking
said.
person won.
I know.
The
I
wrong
agree.
per- like,
that was the only problem.
Like, where do you
Yeah.
go? Like, Bayley lost with help.
Right.
So now
Really.
what?
That's it. I mean, like, seriously.
That's where I'm at. Like Si said, continuous stories. Like
Mhm.
apparently after Raw Monday, Candice LeRae pinned Bayley.
She beat her.
So,
Mhm.
which fantastic. But I love Candice LeRae. She did not get a really good run in NXT. I
She
think
didn't.
more of the exposure is on her husband, rightfully so.
Who's
Johnny
your husband?
Gargano is one of the.
Oh, Gargano? Gotcha.
So like
She never
he's one of
got
the best ever, and I'm a huge fan of Gargano, as you guys know.
it. You are.
But where does this story go?
Ohio native.
Bayley lost clean.
She did.
Why did she get another shot? She lost clean.
She did. She was.
She tried to cheat. Bianca didn't have nobody run out and help her.
She
I was
did.
waiting for Sasha and Naomi to come out and help Bianca when it was
know.
3-on-1.
I do too.
But it never happened. So
Yeah.
that's my issue. Match was fine. I get like a 7 out of
It's
10.
just,
I thought it was really lame.
what's next?
I thought it was really lame when Bailey used Bianca's hair to throw her down.
I thought when she used her hair and pulled her and she hit her head on the ladder was pretty cool.
And I thought it was really lame when she jumped right back up like nothing happened and then used her hair to whip Bailey. Like,
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. One, there's no selling that fucking hit.
Right. Really.
Two, fuck your hair. Like, it's not going to hurt.
Don't make fun of
So-
people's hair. I feel like you're holding something like that was a.
Hey, listen.
You're like fuck you in your hair.
In your hair.
Fuck your hair, bitch.
There's a little.
Put it up in
Oh,
a
behind
ponytail
that.
and don't touch it.
No, it was stupid. Like
It was stupid.
But overall, it was fun. The KOD onto the ladder was a brutal spot.
Mhm.
Like
Sure.
Bianca's strong as fuck.
She is.
Oh, yeah,
strong.
she's great,
Yeah,
dude.
she's great.
Bianca is everything that they wanted Ronda to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm pretty sure
Bianca's
Bianca
like-
would whoop her ass in a
Bianca
fight.
She
should be
would.
the face of the women
She should.
between her and Becky and those are your two big women.
They
but
are.
I just don't understand where they're still going on with Bailey versus Bianca. I just don't know how.
I don't
Now
understand
Candice LeRae pinned Bailey, so like
boy, she gonna be
Bailey
better.
took 2 pins in a fucking 2
3
day
days,
period.
3 days.
3 days, yeah.
A clean pin too.
Damn.
I know we all wanted Bailey to win.
Yvonne, women's shit's yours. I don't know. I give up. I will no longer be predicting women's matches going forward. That way it can't hurt me or help me.
Like you
I'm
said,
done.
like you said, I don't see what's next. I mean, Bianca retains. I mean,
Bailey should have won.
She should have
and
won.
Liv should have retained.
Yeah, I agree.
You better go choke your chicken because you ruined. These two are bad.
Here did it on Monday.
Yeah.
He did.
All right, size. So you know what's wrong. So there was 4 roosters, like the little rubber chickens, on Triple H's like desk backstage. So first off, it goes backstage and Triple H has his headset on with it. He looks like fucking Santa.
That was
Wait,
actually-
I didn't say
he's
that
like,
old.
he's like,
It's
he
like
takes
Vince.
his headset off, and then Sean's like, "What are those cocks on your table?" And there's 4 chickens on there. Triple H picks one up, and he's like, "Well, he's gonna choke his chicken. We gotta go, boys." And then Triple H is sitting there holding it, and he's like,
He said, "Who did this?"
and they keep censoring their cussing. He's like, "God damn!" But it's like beep beep beep. And Sean's like, "What the beep?" You need to watch. The segment's pretty
It's
enjoyable.
It was very 07 or 06 DX. It was
funny.
good stuff.
Like they threw in the cogs, they threw in all the old gag stuff
Yeah.
in. It was pretty funny.
It was funny.
Going back to
Vince's
we mentioned
glasses.
Vince's glasses.
Right.
Okay. there
Yeah,
you
that
go.
makes sense. I knew those glasses looked familiar somehow.
going back to the ladder match. I totally agree with you that the wrong person won, and I also agree. I don't know where Bailey can go from there, but also where does Bianca Belair go from there? Because if Bailey is defeated as her challenger, who else is coming up for her on that brand to face?
Candice LeRae.
It looks like Candice LeRae.
It looks like Candace.
Okay.
We pinned
I mean,
Bailey.
we also, and I know this is probably going to start you off a little bit, and I apologize, but you obviously got Charlotte coming back.
Oh my God, Sai.
Woo!
She can't compete for both
Size
of them.
correct.
Just keep her
At
on
least Sai said it, I
SmackDown. Look,
didn't
I
say
know
it.
for a good
Is
like
it possible that maybe she comes back and faces Belair, and we get Bailey going across to the other brand and
See it.
faces Ronda Rousey? Because that's something we haven't seen before.
Yeah, the report
I
for
like
Mania this year, it's going to be Bianca and Charlotte
Yeah,
at
I
Mania because she wants to, and she's beat all the horsewomen
But Bianca.
except
Bianca.
Charlotte.
Yep.
Okay.
Horsewomen, I use that term very loose when describing Charlotte. Like take the horseman, but like she looks like one and she's hung like one.
Oh
But-
my gosh, you're so nice.
But we know. Don't act surprised. This is our 151st episode. I haven't liked Charlotte since episode -7.
That's
So
fair.
You've never liked it.
that bitch. Woo! Just, God damn it, Ben. How do I block
Get
somebody
him,
from the
get
chat?
him, Ben. Woo!
We scared Tyler off. He's like,
I know.
he's somewhere like,
It's like,
fuck you.
fine, guys.
He's
Shit.
like, I'll go
He
get
got
over-
over. He
I'll go
got his
get over
fame. He got his
somewhere else.
fame. He's done.
All right, let's get out of these women matches.
When Charlotte comes
That's
back,
all I have to
you're
do. Get in and get out. I don't-
Shut up.
Josh will be happy.
All right, Drew and Cross. Sai, what
I'm
did
over
you
it.
think of? Oh my fucking god!
I got on video. He's over it
Oh,
again.
fucking Jesus Christ! All right,
Got that on video.
there's Cross doing what Chuck needs done to him on a regular fucking Wednesday night. All right, what was your
Over it.
thought? A strap match, which we said last week when Jimmy Bebe from Wrestling Buddy was on, is a hard match to pull off, and it's hard to have a classic strap match. Even though
Yeah.
I think Bray and Brian was probably my favorite of recent memory. I think
Mhm.
they did a really good one last year, or it was last year or 2 years ago. But what was your thoughts on this? And did Cross? The point is, did Cross come over to you as a legit threat? Because that was the whole purpose of this feud.
I think that okay, answering that question first then. I think Cross winning was the only real option they had. And I think they booked themselves into a corner here because Drew has just come off a big defeat in Cardiff. I almost felt like he needed to win this as well. So by putting the pair of them in there, on the one hand, you're thinking, okay, which way is this going to go? But on the other side of the coin, Cross winning was the right decision. So where does that leave Drew now? Because he's took 2 big defeats in succession. Is he now going to drop back down the card and end up facing Rollins for the US title, or going after the IC title or something? Maybe, I don't know. But with regards to Karrion Kross, the whole production of it, the entrance, Scarlett, the music, I think that is superb, and I think that screams star. In the ring, I can't put my finger on exactly what it is, but there's something not quite there. And I'm not saying he's terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it's almost like he's 90% there, but there's just something missing. And
Give
I
it
can't
time.
quite get what it
Give
is.
it time.
Mhm.
When he came to NXT, they hit us with that entrance right off the bat. And I was like, holy shit. And that's all they kept showing us was that entrance. And I was like, then he'd wrestle and he'd squash somebody for like, he squashed people for like probably 2 months. And I was like, there's something missing with this guy. Just keep watching him. Eventually, you're just like, okay, I get it. And I think there's a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, especially Chuck's, after his gladiator porn star gimmick he had on Raw before. Like, I think that also is in the back of people's heads. Like, how do I take him serious when like he was like a Pornhub exclusive for like a month?
Sure.
$17.99 right now. But
yes, there's free porn on there, right?
Oh, for God's
not the stuff.
We don't need to know the stuff you guys like. I don't.
Your porn has page with 2 guys. Mine has page with 3.
We don't need to know. I don't need to know.
Where'd that come from? I don't know. But
I don't want
there's
to
a
know
hole
where
in
it
that
comes
wall
from.
for a reason.
Oh,
but anyway,
oh God, has me thinking.
Shut up! Quit laughing. Sorry, you're not helping either. I was laughing. I don't know what's so fucking funny.
You are talking
the
like
hole in your wall. That's my favorite.
That's
part.
not in my wall. It was in the wall in the video.
Oh.
If any dicks come through my wall, I'm freaking. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Ben says Drew versus Gunther would actually be awesome.
Oh, for sure.
That is going to be a match that
I like
happens.
that.
But to answer Si's question, I think Drew's about to go heel.
I think so.
I think he can play you know what? He can come out on Friday, be like, I fucking carried this company through COVID for you fucking idiots. And I fucking beat Brock Lesnar because you guys were sick of having a part-time champion. You guys never embraced me. And I fucking, now you're all love Karrion Kross. Fuck you guys. And he turns, and he said in a recent interview, he wants to go heel again. So you just get a badass fuck you Drew McIntyre going forward, which opens up a whole new door of feuds for him.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
It's very stale where he is now, isn't
He's,
it?
sure.
Well, he's just exhausted he's fought all the heels. So
Yes.
like now he needs to switch. Like there's nobody left for him.
There's nobody left.
The issue is though, if he comes out and cuts a promo like that, with the way wrestling fans are, they're going to fucking cheer him anyway.
No, it's
Right,
like when he
they're
came out. Like he was. Listen, that when WWE takes you to your home country, builds a pay-per-view around you, and still don't put the belt on you, it's not your time, bro.
It's not
like
your time.
it was there. We kept saying it was then or never. Cardiff, he was over his shit. Broken Dreams played like it was it.
That's the problem with having Reigns carry this fucking title for going on 3 years now. There's nothing else for anybody to do. Now, granted, Triple H is trying to make those titles useful again, but with Reigns holding that title fucking part-time captive, we're just all just kind of treading water, doing the same feuds over and over again, trying to get over one way or the other.
What brings you to Cross?
But
where does he go?
Right. And where's he?
I mean, it's got to be a title, I assume, in IC or US down the
They're not
line.
going to put him to Gunther. He's not going to go to Raw because he could.
Well, this feud's probably not even over yet. This is their
It's
first
probably
match.
not.
They're going to keep fighting
I don't
for
know.
another
They're
month
gonna
or
probably
two.
be fighting. For
They
a
might
while.
fight again at Saudi,
Probably.
but
Do you think maybe that as well, Karrion Kross is the way he's come in and he's straight away involved with Drew, who is in the main event picture, isn't he? Let's be honest. He has been for the last, Do you think maybe if he then goes for a US title, for example, or the IC title, that's almost like a step backwards for him at the moment?
I mean, kind of,
Yeah.
but what else is he going to do?
Right.
Like, just keep having the same feud over and over again?
Who's on fucking SmackDown?
We
He's
could
got.
say-
He keeps talking about the world title, right? Like that's across the state. He's like, I need a world title shot. Well, it's not going to be him at Saudi,
No.
and War Games is going to be in a fucking cage.
Yep.
Like, so he's not getting a title shot there. Does he get a title shot at day one? I don't know.
I don't know either.
But
Ask you about day one.
it's like Cross is Triple H's Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. Like this is the guy he brought to NXT. He went undefeated. He put him on the main roster. Vince fucked him up. He fired him, and then now Triple H has brought him back. And I feel like he's trying to band-aid all that shit back and built because he had Cross as an unbelievable wrecking machine on NXT.
He did. He was.
So you put him on the main
machine.
roster. Jeff Hardy's drunk ass beats him. Why he has the NX
Yeah.
title.
Forgot about that.
And
He
then-
did fucking-
Yeah.
In his debut match, he lost with the NXT title, as he's undefeated,
To
as
Jeff
the
Hardy.
announcers ain't even allowed to acknowledge what title he has.
Right.
So, like, hell, on Raw, they're talking about the fucking Sami Zayn's indie days. Like, you're hearing all this
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
shit. Like, but Vince wouldn't let you talk about wrestling. So I think he's got work to do. I think he'll probably fight Drew again.
Yep.
And then I don't know where we go from there. He'll probably be part of like a Team SmackDown or something at Survivor Series. And it's Triple H's pet project. So
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not sure what Triple H is thinking,
that's his
but
guy.
I mean, we gotta get those. We gotta have the title split because like Reigns is holding this shit hostage, in my opinion. Like You can only do so much. And if the IC and US are a step down, that's a problem.
They got to Seth Rollins it. They got to have somebody fucking cash in in a match that's 1-on-1 and pin the other guy.
I agree.
Because Rollins ain't going to take the whole issue getting the belt off him is Reigns is not taking a pin. So how do you get it off of him? You WrestleMania his ass like Seth did when he cashed in, where he pinned the person not holding the belt because they're protecting Brock. Yep. Now you do the same thing. Whether it's Theory, Gargano, I don't give a fuck who it is.
He ain't dropping that title till WrestleMania. So there's no way.
That's the only way I can see it. Or you put Reigns at a triple threat and he doesn't get pinned. Or somebody takes him out during the match and it's like, oh shit, that leads to another feud. Or The Rock, I don't know what you do. It's a tricky situation.
It is.
It's like the one thing Vince left Triple H like, how the fuck do I can fix all this other little shit.
Sure.
The U.S. title means more than it has in a long time. The IC title might be the biggest title right now in WWE. Because the way Gunther's been, the matches have been meaningful and great matches.
Opening the show. I think they opened
both
shows.
Like that shouldn't be a step down. Yeah. Losing that belt is what used to be your next step's the main event. It used to just be like a stepping stone, which is how it should be. But
that's the way it always was when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
You had the IC title in the WWF, and it was that case of, I think today's like, it was either today or yesterday or something like that, the anniversary of Bret Hart's first world title win when he beat Ric Flair. I think it's 30 years today, October 92, sometime like that.
I couldn't tell you.
And he lost the IC championship at SummerSlam that year. And it wasn't a case of he lost the IC title to the Bulldog and was going to go back to that. Everyone knew he was moving on to the world title picture. Sure. And it was the same in WCW, where the United States Championship sort of, I suppose, was Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA, and all that sort of stuff. There was a long time, especially in the 80s, if you were the United States champion, you were automatically the number one contender for the world title. And they would just fit in your title shot around other people having matches with their proper rankings. So there was real prestige to these titles. I think the 2000s and going into the 2010s and so on, both titles really, really suffered. You know, John Cena's Open Challenge thing brought some prestige back. I thought that was very, very good. But both of those titles really lost a bit of their shine. And now you've got effectively one world champion, even though he's holding two titles. Effectively, you've got one, I suppose, company-wide champion. You could quite easily, if these titles were still held in the same regard as they once were, you could have the US title being the main title on one show, the IC title being the main title on the other show, and the world champion defends against either or on pay-per-views and so on. And all of a sudden, the secondary bouts means so much more straight away. But they will never do that because, but the two shows on two different networks, they want two different champions and so on. So, but yeah, it's a real shame that those belts have kind of lost a bit of prestige. And I'm hoping Triple H can remedy that.
He's trying.
He has been.
Yeah.
They mean more now than they have for a long time. And the fact that Seth is now the U.S. champion means they're actually taking it very fucking serious.
And you don't watch weekly, but shortly after Triple H took over, when they did like a U.S. title tournament, and he was showing all these like
the old winners.
What do you call them? Vignettes of like the history of the U.S. title, and like you can tell he's really trying to bring prestige back to it.
He was,
but you got to be consistent with it. You got to make it feel like it's important, and we're getting there. But
it's like the way they did it on Raw. It's like Brock came out and beat the fuck out of Lashley, and Lashley loses. Like that's how you get a belt off somebody.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is as well, though, it's not like with regards to, I suppose, building the prestige of a championship. It's very easy to destroy it, but very, very difficult to build it back up. It's like with regards to building it back, and the same, I suppose, with regards to getting eyes on the TV product itself and turning a failing company around. I'm not saying WWE was failing, but just for argument's sake, WCW under Russo, then, for example, turning a company round is the same as adding prestige back to a title. It's not like stopping a push bike. You're literally having to turn a battleship. It takes a long, long time to get that back the way, facing the direction you need it to be in.
Sure. Absolutely. Triple H has been in charge for 3 months. So hopefully by like WrestleMania season, we have a whole like new WWE face, if that makes sense. Like not people being the face, but it's a whole different regime. And, hopefully by WrestleMania, it's a whole different product. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a hell of a.
It's going to
be the first road to WrestleMania with of
Oh,
all
Vince.
time without Vince.
Yep.
So
Without
like,
Vince.
this would be pretty crazy.
I'm excited about that because fuck Vince.
All right, show some respect. Speaking of respect, there's a picture for you guys watching live of Beth Phoenix in her fucking face smashed in as I'm chanting, "Do it again!" But that's a perfect ending. Yeah, that was the perfect ending to that.
That was.
This match, I think, was booked the best. I think it was the best match of the night.
Mhm.
I don't really got much. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't really have much to add to it.
Yep, that's good shit.
It was a good show.
And then it leads to future. And made Judgment Day look strong as shit.
Yep, they
It
was
made
good.
Edge still look strong. It looks like he's trying to save his wife's health.
Sure.
Yep.
Yvonne, how do you feel about Beth Phoenix getting her head smashed in with a chair? I know you
didn't-
loved it.
Yeah, I did. I didn't like her own
She
comments.
she hated on her commentary on a weekly basis, and I don't understand.
Okay.
She was
Yvonne,
annoying.
Yvonne is anti Beth Phoenix.
She's I don't know. I think she is a Hall of Famer. I don't know.
Yeah, she's a Hall of Famer.
Whatever. But her intake on NXT was terrible. I kept correcting her every week. I could do her job of commentary.
Oh, I want to
Easy
see
peasy.
Look, the way I'll give you a concerto.
No disrespect to her, but I was cheering for Rhea to do it again as well.
Nice.
So, no offense.
Yeah, we said last week on RSH that's what's going to happen. 'Cause,
Yep.
Yeah.
as soon as Edge's like, you physically can't hurt me enough. Well, clearly it's either
Mhm.
going to be Beth or Ray who he quits to save,
It's going to be his wife.
So,
Maybe.
Well, I want to get to the end because I know we're going to spend that.
yeah, I think we've talked about all the matches. So,
We
Riddle
did.
and Seth.
it was
Yep.
good shit
There's a picture.
for you with the benefit of video.
And I do want to point out, so on the left, there is the Fireflies and the Lantern. So this is the match that it came out after.
It's true.
So Riddle and Seth, we touched on a good match. Daniel Cormier's fat AF. So
Beer belly.
Daniel Cormier, do some punches. That's coming from me. But I'm a stellar 230. Like if I put on a WWE referee t-shirt that's a size too small, I still don't look that fat. But anyway,
I appreciate the retirement beer belly.
I don't. You fat fuck, get in the gym. All right. Bray Wyatt
There we
is
go.
back.
He's here.
Oh
If
yes.
there's anybody on this fucking planet more excited than I was.
Your
I haven't
boy.
got an erection in years, and it finally happened.
Wow.
All I heard was,
We
I
don't
never,
need to know your personal
like,
stuff.
I never
Jeez.
thought I'd get such a big erection from hearing he's
Oh
here.
my
But I did.
God.
I did. I had a Dahmer moment,
That was
and it
too
was for Bray
personal.
Wyatt. All he did,
Okay.
all he wanted to do is take some pictures. All right, no more Dahmer references. But he's back. It got me. It swerved me.
We
Sai, I
we
think's done
understand-
laughing, so
we
I'll bring
understand
the
what you
picture
mean.
back. But they got me. The little thing came on the bottom corner, and I
I know.
stood. I was like, "This is fucking
I know,
it."
I was
And
confused
then
too.
White Rabbit hit, and I was like, "All right." I
This
sat
is
back
it.
down. I was fucking mad.
I can
So then
imagine.
we get a picture. We get the rabbit. We get the buzzard.
Pig.
We get Huskus. We get Abigail. We get the Fiend in the front row,
Mhm.
and then we get the door opening. Him wearing the late great Brody Lee's mask
Yep.
that he wore with the Bludgeon Brothers. That was Bray's tribute. That's that mask
That
he
was
was
a good
wearing. Was Luke
tribute.
Harper's mask he
Mhm.
wore with the Bludgeon Brothers.
That's cool.
The
And
head
that's when he
laying on
took
the-
it off and he said, "I'm here." Boing, boing. And then it ended.
The head laying on the announce table.
Yeah, let's not forget about that. The announcers, oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The head. The
The
head,
head on the
this.
table.
It's
They're
like, oh my
like-
God, this just fell out of the air.
Michael Cole's like, is this really happening?
I had goosebumps for at least a good half hour. And I think I watched it on YouTube twice after the fact.
did,
and it
yeah.
did it.
We watched
And
it Monday too.
We showed our dad that. He's like, "That's pretty cool." My
That
dad
was
hates
pretty-
everything. So everything wrestling related. Like he likes the old school.
Old school.
Like Si was saying, everything meant something. He's like, "Oh God," the guy who says "Bros champion." That's fucking really cool. Like, I think the Undertaker was the
He
champion.
likes Riddle though.
But-
He does.
But all right, Si, how epic was Bray's return?
Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. And it was handled so well because he's not laid hands on anyone. He's not even looked at anybody. He's literally just walked out and said, "I'm here." And then the show ends.
Yeah, see,
That is fun
we
because-
kept saying, "Who does he attack?
right.
Who does he attack? Who does he target?" I called Chuck right after the show, and I was like, "He didn't attack anybody." now it's like, now the question is, who the fuck's he after?
Now who?
Because we still
Exactly.
don't know.
We don't know.
He's like, I'm glad you brought that. That's a fucking great point. Like they did,
And that's
so
the hook.
much and didn't do really anything.
That's the hook because you've got this incredible sort of promotional effort with the people popping up in the crowd and the lighting and the effects and all that. So you're going home happy because you've seen this incredible display of Bray Wyatt returning. You've got what you wanted from that, but you still got the same questions you had before that happened, and that's the hook. That's how you get people to come back Monday night. That's how
Oh,
you
yeah.
get people to come back next week, next month, next year, by doing things like that. Ultimately, as much as I love professional wrestling, it is exactly this. It's the wrestling business. And a lot of wrestling fans, I think, forget sometimes that the business side of things is the most important to the people promoting the shows. They're there to make money. Now, you're not going to make money if you deliver everything on one night, you hot shot it, and then
AEW.
well, potentially,
No,
what motivation do you then have to tune in next week?
Sure.
You know, whereas now with Bray Wyatt, we're sat here now. It's now what, Wednesday night, coming into Thursday morning for me, and it's the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view was Sunday. We've had Monday Night Raw, and we're still asking the same questions. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and on Monday, all they did was he kept saying, revel in the man or some shit. Revel in the man, revel in the man. And then it's like, this Friday on SmackDown, Bray will be on. It's like, okay.
Well, who's the man? Becky Lynch. There it is.
He's gonna stop it.
Roger Becky.
So he'll be on SmackDown, but like I said, it makes SmackDown must see.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
period. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
It has to balance out having to see Rousey walk around with the belt.
Oh, God.
So you
Hopefully
have
he
to put
attacks
Bray
her.
on there.
No.
Oh,
That's
dude.
why you have the fast forward button
Anyway,
to see her.
Chuck, how epic was Bray's return?
Dude, it was cool. Like you guys said, it got me because I saw that little logo pop up.
Oh,
I'm like,
dude, I
well,
was
what
so
the
mad.
fuck?
I
I was
was
all
excited.
drunk and like, what the hell? And then the music hit. I'm like, oh, I thought it was weird that he didn't attack anybody.
I know.
I
think-
did too.
And
I
in
was.
reality, I think it's like one of the first times that somebody returned and didn't actually direct at somebody. Like, it's not always an attack. I remember when the Undertaker came back, one of his 13th times, he just looked at Kurt Angle. It was like, oh, he didn't attack him, but we know who he's after. This time, I think the first that I can remember that somebody returns without really saying anything, not targeting anybody, but like everybody's like, holy shit. So it shows how much
Right.
power Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt has. And as a horror movie fan, I fucking loved him being in the front row with that mask. And I loved the going through the Firefly Funhouse with all
Oh,
webbed up
yeah.
in dessert.
Yeah.
Oh, that was superb. That
And
was
it
really
showed
good.
that it's like shut down,
Yeah.
and it's like that's the past. Now this is where we're
And
at.
that TV channel, I was like,
It
that's fucking
acknowledges
shit.
everything.
Yeah.
It does.
It kind of reminded me, if you guys are, I mean, you know Bloomhouse, like Bloomhouse's
Mhm.
that intro video of the with the spinning
Any
chair.
fucking
Yeah.
thing
It reminded me of
Bloomhouse
that.
is fucking great.
The house reminded me of
Yep.
the
When they
Bloomhouse
first
intro.
come in,
Yeah.
yeah. So Bloomhouse intros, it's like an empty house, and it turns, and then it makes like this weird ass sound that's like Bloomhouse. It's like
It
when
reminded
I
me
see
of that,
that,
house.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this shit's about to be real. But
That's what reminded me. That was good shit. I mean, nobody's gonna say it was
I
bad.
don't-
It wasn't.
12 million views in 48 hours.
That's impressive.
Like
That's
the
crazy.
motherfucker crashed the WWE's YouTube.
He
Like
did.
I don't know what else. Like that's why I posted on the RSH page before I got fucking banned. Like it was Bray Wyatt. It was that stat, like 11.7 million people in like 72 hours. I think is exactly what the stat was. And I put needle mover. That's
Yeah.
how you move a needle.
Sure.
That's
Now
how you do it.
go back, Bay. What time is this? 103. I have to tell them I'm talking shit. Now 103.26. Punk didn't do that when he came back. Punk is not a needle mover, baby. Bray Wyatt is.
Well, and it was the first time we actually saw the Firefly Funhouse characters
Mhm.
in real life. Like they were puppets.
Just think about
There are
this,
people.
baby. We would rather see fictional puppets than that fucking tattooed, drugged out puppet that you had on AEW.
Yeah.
He's
Think
free of
about
drugs.
that.
He doesn't do drugs.
Think about
He's
that.
drug
I'm sure I think he's probably interim champion or something right now because that's what they do over there.
sitting at home with an
17-time interim champion CM Punk, AEW Hall of Famer. But that's how you do it. That's how you do a return.
Yeah, that's how you do
First
it.
off, you don't fake event on a Friday night called The Last Dance. What is this? A fucking. I thought we were going to watch Grease 4, The Last Dance. Like, is this what we are? Quake by the Lake. Tony Khan. Cocaine cannot make you that ignorant. But anyways,
I guess it does make him
back to
I
Bray.
guess
This ain't
it
about
does.
Tony. It's about Bray.
Ben made me chuckle here. I like it. Bray Wyatt's Ben says Bray Wyatt's entrance was longer than CM Punk's AEW career.
Well,
Good one, Ben. That was a
That's
good
pretty
one.
good.
We agree.
You know, I got. I'm not defend Punk here because the way he's behaved and the way things have gone is disgusting, but I'm a big Punk fan from his WWE
I
days.
used
Me
to
too.
be.
Me
absolutely.
and you both used to be.
And his Ring of Honor stuff and all that.
And-
Fantastic, absolutely incredible. For 7 years, I waited for this guy to return. I stayed here in the UK. What's the Friday show? Rampage, isn't it?
Rampage. Yep. It
Yeah.
comes on at 10. So that's what, 3 a.m. for you?
Yeah, totally. It's so I stayed up to watch him come back, and it was incredible. Sat in my front room with my wife, who has heard me mention CM Punk at every fucking pay-per-view for the last 7 years, to the point where she is sick. She was sick to death of me going, oh, maybe Punk's going to come back, because again, in his WWF run, I adored this guy. He came back, and it was everything I wanted it to be that night. The music, the crowd, the reaction, the roar. And I was sat there with my youngest daughter, who, I mean, you're very critical of AEW, and rightfully so. There's a lot wrong with that company. However, my youngest daughter, who's 12, likes AEW.
Oh.
She doesn't watch it. Again, she's fallen out of love with it a little bit recently as well.
Sure.
But when it first started, we would watch AEW every week. And I loved AEW for that, because it got her into something that I loved as her dad. Punk coming back, she stayed up with me till 3, 4 in the morning. Whenever bloody was. And she's too young to remember Punk's first run, but she knows that this is important to Daddy. So we watched it, and it was absolutely fantastic.
That's really cool.
He had some good matches, he had some good promos, but the wheels fell off very quickly.
Literally banned him from making
Yes, that's right. My wife.
Is that the swear jar? It's like you said, CM Punk quarter in there.
No, and I mean, with regards to him being a needle mover, his segments on AEW television were higher than everybody else's.
Sure.
Make of that what you will. I mean, it's not WWE numbers, of course, because it's on a different platform, it's a different level. But to AEW, he did get eyes on the product. It's just the injury came at the wrong time. His bad attitude and bad ego arose at the wrong time. And what could have been something very, very special, it's just gone to shit. And that's, I think, for me as a CM Punk fan and a wrestling fan in general, I've got no allegiances to AEW. I've got no allegiances to WWE, New Japan, whatever. I will watch what I watch, and I will watch what I want to watch to enjoy it, whether that's WWE or whatever. I enjoyed AEW for quite a period. I enjoyed AEW when Punk first came back. The wheels have fallen off big time now, and it's such a shame for me as a wrestling fan, not a fan of any particular company, but a wrestling fan in general, that ended so badly when it could have been something so good.
You're 100%. I did the exact same. My wife
too.
and I watched that same CM Punk. I don't have cable, but I got a free app just to watch it live when CM Punk came back. Then they watched it with me. Same thing. Been talking about him forever. I agree with everything you said. I love Punk.
I do too.
But what the fuck?
And now you're sitting here thinking, like, him coming back, did it hurt?
Really do anything? Yeah.
I
mean, now they're all fighting each other back.
It's hard to say.
They are.
Mara and Andrade got it. Apparently, Andrade pulled up. Like, that's why like, oh, you're on the card. It's like, I don't care. I'm here to beat his ass. Like, I'm not gonna, like, he's just. It's what happens when a wrestling fan gets a fucking millions of dollars. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. We were listening to this clip. You know that guy? What the fuck's his name? The guy that does those interviews, Ariel something. He just interviewed
Helwani, is it? Helwani?
Yeah, he just interviewed MJF. He just interviewed Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
So he interviewed Tony Khan
Oh, Lord.
last Tuesday. I don't want to watch it because I don't want to.
See, Tony,
I have enough stress in my life. Why add to it? But Tony Khan cutting a promo is exhausting to watch. Hey, get me out of my. I was like, dude, shut the fuck. Sounds like a fucking rat. But
it looks like one.
Like
he does.
You know,
Dirty ass
Silence,
hair.
what I'm talking about. Remember when he started screaming on stage, AEW Dynamite next week with his little gold black shirt and everybody?
Yeah.
Oh my God, makes my ears bleed. But that guy, after the interview, he posted on Twitter today. He's like, that was such a frustrating interview to do. It's like he doesn't want to talk about anything. He's like, is CM Punk going to wrestle you again? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. It's like, hey, what happened backstage? I don't want to talk about it.
Why are you here?
Rampage got 400,000 viewers. What happened? I don't want to talk about it. It's like, you have to address those things. It's like, Triple H, hey, your father-in-law was banging people for money. It was an unfortunate situation, but, you know, as a company, we took the steps we needed to. I'm in charge now. We're going to move forward and hope. And that nothing like that'll ever happen in this company again. That's how you do it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. That's not the way.
With the Punk stuff and the fighting backstage and all that, I can 100% understand him turning around and saying, I don't want to talk about it or no comment or anything like that, because it's still under certain legal situation,
I
isn't it?
get
There's
that,
solicitors
say
involved
that,
and so on.
But anything,
should say
it's
that.
just like anything negative. Like Dynamite had its lowest rating. And
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me though. Turning around and saying I don't want to talk about it or whatever when it's covered from a legal standpoint. I mean, his hands are tied there.
Sure.
Rampage getting incredibly low numbers. That's not covered. That's not got solicitors involved. That's not covered by any legal issues. He can quite openly speak about that. So turning around then and saying I don't want to talk about it, that's just quite ignorant.
That is.
It's a child.
that was that guy's thing. He was like, and then Meltzer was like, yeah, it is irritating interviewing him. And he was like, he put in quotations, I'm an AEW mark. And he's like, even I'm saying when Meltzer's like, it's kind of rough, then it must be rough. Because Meltzer has worshipped everything they've done from day one. Like, even he's kind of like, yeah, Khan's something else. I just feel like, I think Chuck and Yvonne both said this last week, they just need something else. And he needs somebody.
He needs grown ups.
It's like this.
It is an
Let me
adult
throw
to
a
run the show
football
'cause he
analogy
can't
out
do
to you
it.
guys, okay? And sorry, mom and dad, but this is how it is. The Dallas Cowboys used to be the most prestigious football team in the history of the NFL, and they're still considered America's team. I mean, New England's colors are red, white, and blue, and they actually win Super Bowls. But who wants to be a winner in America?
By cheating. I can.
I'll pre-warn you now. I'll very quickly pre-warn you now. My wife is a massive Dallas Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So if you have to put the comments,
Okay,
Josh, be
okay,
aware.
it's fine. It's fine. Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, is running across the field, making personnel changes, drafting players. Granted, they've hit yes, for your wife's hearts. Micah Parsons is great. I'm aware of Dallas.
There she is.
They're 4-1. Here,
Get him. There
oh, here
she
we go.
is.
Yeah, look, they're 4-1. They're going to lose to the Eagles, but they're 4-1 right
Watch
now.
your mouth. Yeah.
They're 4-1 right now.
You better watch
But here's the difference between like this and the AEW comparison. Jerry Jones is running around on the field. Oh shit, there's mom. Look, mom, this is what.
it.
Don't mess with them. Stop it.
Damn, now listen how cool she's.
Here's
trying
the
to sound.
difference, though. And mom, listen to dad. You know you have. You need to.
We don't listen to either one of them.
Can I get there? This is oh god. All right. The Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is hands-on. He's in the draft room. He's the general manager. He's giving Dak Prescott $60 million a year. He's making all these decisions. Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots and Kraft cheese, by the way. Bill Belichick he hired a coach, gave him all the power, and he hired the coach to do football things. Bill Belichick does the drafting. Bill Belichick builds his team. Bill Belichick drafts his players. Bill Belichick signs free agents. Tony Khan needs to hire a guy to run a wrestling promotion because he can't do it himself. Jerry Jones still living in 1980 when Michael Irvin and his nostrils that are that big, snorting cocaine, they're partying. It's a different time. Jerry Jones needs to sit in the booth, and my mom and dad have said this hundreds of times. I don't know why she's putting on a show for the 3 people watching right now. Mom, it's about me, not you. But
Patriots.
But
You had
that's
that
the issue with
coming.
AEW. WWE's got a guy running it that knows it. It's in his blood. Triple H. He's
and
invested.
several others back there.
Like Vince McMahon has needed a guy to tell him Vince, you're an idiot for years.
Mhm.
It's Vince's company. What can you do? It's like with Jerry Jones. He owns the Cowboys. What can you do? But that's the difference between AEW and WWE's. AEW is the Cowboys. They were hot for a minute, but now they're dying. And they're dying because they have the wrong guy in charge. They need to hire a football guy to run that side of things. AEW needs a Chuck throughout Regal. That'd be a fantastic
That'd be
addition.
great.
I think
Oh,
Eric Bischoff would have been
That'd
a
be
good
a
guy to
great
go
one,
to.
too.
He's done pissed Eric Bischoff off where Bischoff buries him on a regular
He
basis.
does.
So, like, that's the issue. You bring in people to do a job. AEW needs to hire a guy in to manage a wrestling show. They need a Regal. A Regal would have been perfect. And I think Regal's already diluted enough to where he thinks Tony Khan's great.
He wants him to get. Yeah, he don't care if he gets fired.
That's
He
the
don't
difference
care.
to me. It's like the Cowboys, Patriots. Like Jerry Jones is too involved. I love Mom. Ezekiel Elliott, really? He's like $15 million a year. There's no reason. Like Jerry Jones loves him though.
He does.
He looks at him like a son, so he pays him $15 million a year when he's really worth $5 million. Belichick, Tom Brady, like you want to go get divorced and now you want a lot of money? Peace. I'll draft Mac Jones. I'll build the Patriots have they're okay. But like you move on and you make the best decision for your company or team going forward. Tony Khan don't do that. He lives week to week.
Even when he was on that fucking thing, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. It sounds like a fucking child.
It's
Like, you have a
stupid.
kid.
Like-
what did you do that for? I don't want to talk about it.
Say,
son, why'd you do that? I don't want to talk
See,
about it.
Si's
That's what
wife
Con
agrees.
reminds me of.
She's good. He needs
Yeah,
to
like-
it's crazy.
you can't love Zeke.
He's
He's
a
been
bitch.
horrible for years. But I'm not gonna. Sorry, Si, I'm not gonna lecture your wife about football. But Zeke's been trash since he's at Ohio State. But that's my analogy. Like, if you're gonna have a football team, have somebody hire some. If you're gonna hire a coach, let them coach. Let them do their job.
Well, that's one thing that Jericho always praised Con for. Well, he knows how to make a team. He knows how to do all of this.
But then he fired all his EV.
I don't think he does.
Look, if Cody Rhodes leaving
Yeah.
AEW is not a sign of there's something wrong, I don't know what other red
I can't
flags
argue
you
that.
need.
I agree.
Because Cody Rhodes was one of the founding members of that
He
whole thing.
was.
Without AEW, probably don't exist. And the fact that he was like, all right, dude, I can't deal with this.
That's
And
sad.
he didn't go back to Triple H's WWE. He went back to Vince's WWE.
Vincent.
The one that he ran away from. Not he didn't run away, but he was booked like shit.
He went
and
off to do
just
something
left.
better for
He
himself.
was. Yep.
Just I keep that in mind with all this shit. Like when one of your EVPs is like, fuck
Yeah.
you, and then the other 3 EVPs, Khan took all their power
He
away.
did.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's just him. He's a one-man booking show. Him and WCW Nitro on Peacock. That's what he uses. He said it in an interview. It's what he watches old Nitros and uses that to book shows. He said that right when AEW launched.
The big, I mean, I don't know masses about the NFL or anything like that. My wife's the expert in this house, to be honest. But you saying about how those two teams are ran slightly different, and then about how AEW and Tony Khan is running and so on. I think the big thing that comes from that for me is that, and I get this with Khan a lot, it almost feels like he wants to be one of the boys rather than a boss. And I don't think you can ever do that. And you used the football analogy there. I'll use one of my own, but football on this side of the water. I'm a Manchester United fan. We had a manager in charge of our team for a good 4 or 5 years, who everyone loved, and all the players loved. He used to play for us back in his playing days as well. But discipline wise, he couldn't control anything. He couldn't. The players wouldn't react to him. Now they got rid of that guy. And they brought in somebody who wants to run the football club, who wants to run the football side of things, who isn't afraid of giving someone an ass kicking, regardless of stature. And all of a sudden, the results have turned around. I feel the same with AEW. It's almost a case of Tony Khan. He wants to be the first manager that I mentioned. He wants to be pally with them. So then when things go wrong, or he has to tell somebody no, it's almost like he cannot do that because he is so matey with them. And it's interesting you mention Eric Bischoff as well, about he could potentially have been an option for them. One of the reasons, I mean, there's many, many reasons why WCW went to the wall, and this we have not got anywhere near enough time to discuss that right now. But one of the main reasons that they started to go down the pan was because Bischoff started acting more and more like one of the boys.
Yes.
And he couldn't say no to Hogan, to Hall, to Nash, and to other people who were his favorites. So the similarity there, I hope AEW pull the nose back up, because the more wrestling companies there are, the more competition there is, the more places there are for these guys and ladies to work, first of all, the more options there are for people, because WWE isn't for everybody.
Sure.
AEW isn't for everybody. I got a friend of mine who watches primarily Impact Wrestling, and that ticks the boxes for what he wants from his wrestling television.
Sure.
Each to their own, the more companies there are producing good quality television, the better it is for wrestling fans in general. So I hope they manage to turn whatever these issues are around. But I agree with you in that Tony Khan needs to either start putting his foot down and telling people no, or get somebody in that can do that for him, because this doesn't look like it's going to be changing anytime soon, does it?
Nope. It's been on a bad path, and he needs to, like you said, everybody said, he needs to back up, stop doing the WCW formula because it failed, and grow up. Hire people who know what they're doing. Back up. He can't be one of those. He just can't. It's not in his blood.
You got to be a businessman first.
You know what I think's going to happen within a year? I think they're going to hire Vince Russo.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be
I
terrible.
really decide. I don't know what goes through his head. I just feel like that would be he'd be like, yeah, you know what? This dude booked great shit in '97. He has a very cool podcast because he's up with Grecka's ass on Busted Open. I don't even listen to Busted Open was my favorite podcast.
It was your favorite,
and I won't even touch it now because
they
it's
like
just
worship
AEW
AEW.
bias,
They do,
and it's like horse shit now. But I just don't know. But I do know. I want to know Who do you guys think Bray's targeting first to transition back to end this on something positive?
see.
Matt Riddle.
I think it's Riddle as
I
well.
think it's Riddle as well.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. I think
Because-
that makes good. I think you look at where everybody else is at the moment. They're all kind of. He's not going to come in and target somebody low down the card, is he? He's too much of a big deal for that.
Mhm.
So that eliminates a big chunk of the roster straight away. So I think when you're looking at the top end of the roster, he's not going to come in and target a title straight away because you don't need to. You can.
He needs
No,
to
he
stay
doesn't
away.
need
He needs
Yeah.
to stay away.
Yeah, you can hold that off for quite a while. That's not necessary.
Sure.
So you then start looking around what other people who have not got title belts are doing. He's not going to go after Karrion Kross because he looks like he's preoccupied with Drew. That also kind of eliminates Drew for a short period. Rollins has just won the United States Championship. You'd think that kind of rules him out as well.
Yep.
So literally just by a process of elimination, just ticking people off, you kind of only left with a handful of names, aren't you?
And
Riddle
who
being one.
and who did Fiend last feud with before he was fired?
That, I
Randy
think
Orton. I
this
said
could
that
be his
last
way
week,
back
yep.
to Randy Orton.
Yep,
He goes
that's
to
what I
Randy
said. I
Orton.
said that last
Randy
week.
Orton
Yep.
ended,
Set him on fire.
set him on fire. And that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
head on
Yeah.
the desk. That was the severed head. Remember when they released
Yeah,
the mask?
yeah.
That was the burnt head. That was on the announce
Yep.
table.
Mhm.
Halloween
so
Kills version.
Riddle could lead to Orton.
Yep.
And I'd be down for
Yeah.
Sure.
that fucking RK Bro fucking trying to team up to take down the Wyatt Six, apparently, is what it is.
That's
'Cause
cool, man.
Have
666. I
Have
like it.
fun with that.
So Yvonne, who do you think he's going to feud with?
Riddle.
All right. So
All
who
Riddle.
do you guys think some of these characters
Oh, I don't even have a guess for that.
Eric Rowan is
are?
one.
Eric Rowan apparently re-signed.
Liv Morgan, I think, is going to be.
Morgan's
Morgan.
really happy.
Uh-huh.
The Fiend's apparently Bo. And Grayson Waller has the widest arms on this planet.
does.
Grayson Waller was in the buzzard costume.
He was.
Grayson Waller from NXT, who I've said on the show a million times will be a fucking megastar.
You have-
Dude, oh my God. If you guys haven't watched Cora Jade, so he does a show called The Grayson Waller Effect.
It's
And he had
fun.
Cora
It's-
Jade and Roxanne
It was funny.
on it. And they kept, dude, you just got to watch. It's like
They
5
kept
minutes.
interrupting.
They kept interrupting him. And he's like, mother, this is my show. And they're just like, oh my God.
He's like, can I talk now?
he's like Shawn Michaels' pet project. Shawn Michaels thinks when they asked Shawn Michaels in a podcast the other day, if you could bring somebody from NXT and you're like, man, they fit DX so well. He's like Grayson Waller. Like before he could even finish the question.
Absolutely.
It's like that dude's thought of at the highest level.
He is.
I like his last name because it reminds me of Welders, which is a really good bourbon. So
And
that's why.
Chuck's boy AJ Styles took time out of the hectic schedule they work already he wanted to go to NXT and
He
work
did.
with
He
Grayson
did,
Waller.
yep.
Okay.
That was this decision AJ Styles made on
Great
it.
feud it
So
was too.
that's telling that guy's got
Yeah.
a really bright future.
Hell
And
yeah.
it's so nice that NXT people. I about flipped my laptop off this table when it happened. That when they leave NXT, they come to the main roster with the same name, the same gimmick.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Like Gargano's over. Oh my God, who would have fucking known?
Right.
Like that Johnny Gargano was fine. You don't have to turn him into Johnny, whatever the fuck, Johnny Drip, whatever the fuck he tried with John Morrison. Like
Johnny
it's so
Drip.
They
nice.
probably just call him Phil.
Like look,
Why not?
here together, like putting Da Vinci back in Imperium off
Yeah.
NXT.
Mhm.
Like the little things have just made the biggest difference. And Bray is Triple H's biggest hit so far.
It is.
Now, where does this go? Where Bray's mind wants it to
Sure.
go. And I have nothing but confidence in where Bray and Triple H is going to take this going forward.
He's an incredibly creative guy, isn't he, Bray? You see it in all the characters he plays. I mean, my favorite incarnation of Bray Wyatt is the very beginning. The Wyatt family, the sort of white trousers, Hawaiian shirt, straw hat, the rocking chair. That was my favorite, you know? But everything since then has been fantastic as well. So creative, so inventive. Yeah, I'm and again, it comes back to that hook. It makes you want to watch to see what the guy does next. And if that's the case, that's money. And again, we come back to it being the wrestling business, don't we? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who was
Hell
the
yeah.
number one merch seller the whole time when the Fiend dropped?
Yep.
He carried the number
Yeah.
one. He was number one merch seller. And
Oh,
it wasn't even close. Halloween is around the corner.
Yep.
Fiend, and you have all these characters merchandise. You can dress up as the fucking rabbit. You can dress up as the Buzz. You can dress up as Abigail. You can dress up as the Fiend.
Yep.
Money,
Right,
costumes,
yeah.
money. What am I doing tomorrow after work? Going to buy my Jesus costume. Money, 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 money. That's what you're right. It's business. That's why everybody's like, why is Alexa carrying Lily around? Because Lily's a top 5 selling item on WWE Shop. That's
Yep.
why she's carrying Lily around. Because little girls see her and she's like, oh my God, I want a doll just like Alexa. And
They
buy,
do.
and they get bought for them. So
They do.
you're going to keep making me money. I'd be an idiot to take you off TV,
Right.
Sure.
or to remove that doll, or to Fiend. It just changed the whole landscape.
It did.
I don't think people understand how big his return was. This is one of the biggest returns ever.
I agree.
Mhm.
Like,
I agree.
Rabbit
agree.
literally changed everything.
He did.
Like,
Great song.
SmackDown got fucking 2.7 million viewers just because they teased 9:23.
They did.
And at 9:23 p.m., it was at a fucking commercial. Like, and people still tuned in. They watched through the commercial. Like, Burger King, $6.99. It's like, hold on. When the double bacon cheeseburger comes out of the oven, maybe the Fiend's in there. Maybe that's what it might. Triple H pulls out a mic. It's like on the fucking mic.
That's all.
Like,
that.
That is cool.
The littlest things make the biggest difference.
It
And
does.
Triple H has nailed all of them, and this is his biggest thing to date. He's my favorite fucking wrestler
We know
since John
that.
Cena is
Mhm.
gone. He's my favorite of all time. Like, he's
He is.
making B+ movies
Sure.
right now.
You didn't see Vacation Friends, whatever the fuck they called it
We're
on
not-
Hulu?
let's not talk into that. I don't watch Hulu. I was going to ask you, what are you going to do if Hulu drops WWE's content? You know they're in like a feud right now.
And then
right?
I'll be out of luck once they put on their. I mean, I have all the apps, but I'm just not getting fucking cable. So this depends on what app they put it
Oh.
on.
I don't know. This is huge.
That is huge.
I don't understand why he got fired in the first place.
I don't either.
But now he's going to take all these wrongs and fix it with a whole clan, the Wyatt
the world's
Six.
in his hands.
I dig it.
That's his thing. The Wyatt Six now. There's going to be 6 of them. So there's him, Pig, Buzzard, Rabbit,
Abigail.
Abigail, Fiend.
6.
I
Yep.
dig
There's
it.
6. And he's not the Fiend, which is kind of funny.
That
'cause
is
he
not.
was the Fiend.
Sure.
So I don't know if that's going to continue, but he's not playing the Fiend character.
He's
We'll
not.
see what happens.
So-
He's back.
Yeah. And he made it clear.
We've been
Lantern and all. He kind of homaged all his characters.
He
He
did.
did.
I'm here. And then the video was cool.
It
The
was.
video was it was all well done. And it made me re-download White Rabbit onto my phone. And now I listen to it at least 3
Oh.
times.
I'm playing it. It's a great song to run to. You start slow, and then by the end, you're fucking. Sprinting.
It's good. Well, you know, Billie Eilish has a song called Happier Than Ever. It starts
I
very,
knew this was going
very,
down there.
very slow. Dude, and then there's a part of the song where just a beat picks up and you're like, fuck yeah, Billie. Then it hits hard. But you wouldn't understand that kind of happiness because you haven't allowed yourself to see it.
Well, unfortunately, I'm a 17-year-old girl, so I just
It's
can't.
He has
she's
an
22 years old.
He hasn't acknowledged Billy.
And
Eilish
this-
I'm also
yet.
not 22
This
year-old
is
girl.
the video of her. This is the exact part
That's
that
her?
fucking shit turns into.
She looks
a
like
banger.
that kid in Harry Potter. Who's the fucking kid who says Potter all the time?
No, stop.
Looks like that kid.
Stop.
With that hair.
Potter.
Being-
You know what I'm talking about, don't
Chuck
you?
will eventually acknowledge Billy Eilish.
You talking about Malfoy?
We hope.
I don't know. Is
She
it
does not look like. I swear to God.
just look at that picture?
I swear. To
White
fucking
hair
God.
and all. I'll tell you, man.
It's blonde. It's not white.
I thought that was.
There you go. Talking shit about people's hair again.
Look pretty white to
I
me.
do that too. And Ollie's braids
I mean,
was
mine's
terrible.
fucking puffing up, but like, I didn't have a lot of hair to begin with.
Ollie's.
Sorry, I can't believe
I
he,
did
he
too.
won't like this Billy. Like,
He won't.
I've known him for 10 years. He'll ask for one little thing. Nope. I'm over it. That's all I get. I'm over it. I'm 50.
You asked his
drunk.
To be
opinion.
fair, I
You
never had the
asked his
opportunity to
opinion.
be over Billie Eilish because it's never.
You got
I never got on it.
You know, her first song ever was an homage to The Office, and that didn't draw him in. So
He's
I mean,
over
fuck
it.
No,
it.
I like The Office. That song's about The Office. I
It was
watch The
her
Office.
homage to The Office.
I don't care what
She
a
uses
20-year-old has to say about
bits-
The Office. She never worked in Office in
She
her life.
uses bits of The Office.
She doesn't get that humor. She never worked in her life.
She put Threat Level Midnight parts into her song.
She didn't know why that show was fucking funny.
I'm
now
over,
you
I'm
know.
over this.
She's too
conversation.
young to
How
get
about
it.
that?
Oh my God! Now you're fucking parents of Billie Eilish. I'm
Someone-
sorry, Si. He's apparently
Sorry.
Billie Eilish fan.
Anti-Billy
I have-
Eilish club.
Both of her albums. I have tried to learn how to cry blue shit out of her face like she does in her lonelier than ever
That's
video.
weird.
Just get like blue shit, put it in your eye.
No,
and
that's
let it
not
cry.
sanitary. That's not safe.
That's how she's
She
doing
doesn't
it.
know she's drinking it that came out of her face. I ain't learned how to do it yet.
You know that's not real.
That is real.
Makeup.
It's not fucking makeup. How do you need makeup out of your eyes?
It's called.
This is so fucking
I
stupid.
can't wait
This
to
is
video
not
this
funny.
and tag Billy Eilish.
This is so
I
fucking
need to
dumb.
do it.
Billie Eilish.
Who?
I think I can
Exactly. Fucking who?
Fucking new days in here.
I'm sorry.
Where's the sticker?
I don't know if I left it. I think I left it.
Oh my God, she lost a Billie.
I
My
did.
sister bought a Billie Eilish sticker
I-
for Chuck.
Hey, so I knows I am.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Direct me in the report.
There's other people watching. I think
Hey, you
this
think?
Ben dude keeps laughing. The last 6 comments he said has had
Bad
a laughing
guy.
emoji in it.
Duh.
I don't know what
Billie
that guy
Eilish
is.
shit. I'm fucking over
I just
it.
said who to be funny.
Bad guy. That's her biggest hit
I
song.
like that song.
Oh, so it's
Duh.
like 4 people heard it probably. All right, guys. I think
Taylor
so-
Swift's new album drops on the 23rd, by the way.
I'm excited for that one. That one, T
You
Swift.
know, Taylor Swift's
I like
a big
T-Swizzle.
supporter of Billie Eilish.
I don't give a fuck. I like T Swizzle.
Okay. Fine. You don't give a fuck.
He's on it. He's on
It is like really late over at size neck of the woods or side of the pond, whatever we say over here. I don't
Don't
fucking know.
disrespect the UK on top of it.
No, it's across the pond. It's a common phrase.
Say across the pool. They have a pond.
We got a pawn.
It's a really big pool. So before we let you all go, Si, let us know. Tell all of these loving fans where we can find you at, where you can find all of your stuff at, including where they can find some of our stuff at. Let it happen.
Yeah, sure. The best place to do that would be to follow the network on Twitter and Facebook at SJP World Media. And there's so many great shows on the network. It's fantastic. Obviously, yourselves come out with us towards the end of every week, which is fantastic. I really, really appreciate you allowing me to share your show on the network. I'm really grateful for that. But we have shows that I'm involved in. First of all, I guess we do Chain Wrestling on a Monday night live, which comes out in the podcast version on the Wednesday with our good friend Mr. Mags. There's a bit more wrestling there as well. We're doing an NXT Look Back podcast with a UK independent based wrestler called Joshua Goodwin, NXT Rise and Fall, and that's sort of going back to the very first episode of NXT that effectively was under the black and gold banner, I suppose, after the game show stuff and looking at it week to week to week, as I'm doing with WCW as well, Nitro Night. So our good friend Scottish Danny there looking at WCW show after show after show. We're just getting into the middle of 96-ish, so Scott Hall turns up very soon. Can't wait for that. We also have loads of other stuff going on as well. There's a Doctor Who podcast on there. There's a Quantum Leap podcast on there. Our friend Tyler Peters, he does a show with Scottish Danny, who does Nitro Nights with me, called Back When once a month, and it's back when various things happen. So the first episode was back when WWF promoted SummerSlam 88. The second episode was back when Quiet Riot released the Metal Health album. This month, for being October, is going to be back when the first Halloween film came out.
Ooh,
And those two are fantastic together as well. Benny in the chat, involved in the waiting room, the Quantum Leap podcast. So much going on there. Just fantastic. I mean, check it out on all your podcast providers. And again, on Twitter and Facebook at SJP World Media.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for hanging out with us tonight, for staying up that late.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. I've had a great time.
All right, guys, hope you all enjoyed the show. If not, we're an hour and a half in, so fuck you, it's on you. And until next time, friends, continue.
It gets me every time. And you say it every episode. Fuck you.
And continue to fear regularly scheduled hostilities.